You shot over 400 three-pointers this year. Talk us through the corner jumper there. What were you doing? Did you lose track of where you were? That's a terrible shot.
You are looking live at VSiN PrimeTime. Live from the Circus Sportsbook in downtown Las Vegas, here's Tim Murray and Jonathan Von Tobel.
Last Thursday evening, we were sitting here in studio, and we had a fun little wager together. You've ever been out to Vegas? The first to 10, first to 15 wagers in these NCAA tournament games get people all in a frenzy. And you and I took a first to 10 on Oakland against Kentucky. And our next guest hit a 3 to make it 8-7, and then hit another 3 to make it 11-9 and help us win that wager. It is the legend of this NCAA tournament to this point, Jack Gohlke of Oakland. He joins us right now here on VSiN Primetime on our progressive guest line. We were joking off air. Are we over 50 interviews since that magical evening against Kentucky?
Well, first off, I want to say my pleasure in cashing a ticket for you guys.
Yeah, baby.
But I think 50 is a great number to set it at, and I would take the over when we count the next couple days coming up here.
Well, I mean, it's no doubt, I'm sure, been fun to soak it all in, and this is what the March Madness and NCAA tournament is all about. We've got so many different angles we want to go with, but real quickly, you're from Pewaukee, Wisconsin, not too far from Milwaukee. So Marquette, located in Milwaukee, will be taking on the team that just knocked you guys out. NC State will take on Marquette. So give us a little bit of a scouting report on NC State, and who do you think will emerge on Friday down there in Dallas between NC State and Marquette?
Yeah, man, I'm not going to lie. I really wanted to be going up against that hometown Marquette squad, but it's going to be a great game. I mean, obviously, NC State has great guard play with Horn, and Burns is going to be a force inside. We experienced it firsthand. I'm excited to see the matchup between Burns and Oso for Marquette because they're just two totally different bigs, but it's going to be interesting to see kind of who takes advantage of that mismatch, because it really is a mismatch on both sides there. And obviously Marquette has the tremendous guard play too. So I probably think Marquette's gonna get the win, but I think it'll maybe be another overtime game.
So one of the things that we always cite when we're talking about these NCAA tournament games, especially teams like yours that can maybe spring an upset or two, we like to cite slow pace and a high rate of threes, and that was you guys quite like to a T. When you guys went into that matchup against Kentucky, is that part of the thought process? Like, look, the way we play, we could give these guys a really big problem and potentially do what we actually did.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree with what you're saying in terms of upsets. And I mean, anytime we go into a game against a team like Kentucky, I mean, I think they might have led the nation in scoring or top 5, something like that. And their pace is just so fast playing in the SEC. And we said we want to keep it to 65 possessions. And if we keep it to 65, we'll probably keep them under 75 points, and I think they scored 76. But we also knew that they were going to go after our bigs, especially Trey Townsend, and that was going to free up some of those 3-point shots. So we just went into the game saying we're going to run a lot of plays for me and some of our other shooters, and the game plan luckily worked out in our favor.
All right, I got to ask the question that I think everybody is wondering. Jack Gohlke joins us here on our progressive guest line. Legend of this NCAA tournament, hit 10 3-pointers. Mentioned in the same breath as Steph Curry in that magical run that Davidson had back in 2008. You shot, I believe, at the end of the day, over 400 3-pointers this year. And in the NCAA tournament, 0 shots from inside the arc. If I gave you a pull-up 18-footer right now, would you make it?
Man, that's a great question. I can't tell you the last time I practiced an 18-footer like that. I mean... Even in practice, I don't really shoot many layups. I used to be a well-rounded player. I used to be able to score from everywhere. But this year, Coach Campy he's so big on everyone playing their specific role, and he was like, you shoot the 3 extremely well, you make them efficiently, so let's just maximize that. And that's what we did. I went out there and was just playing behind the arc and let my other teammates who are better at shooting the 2s focus on that.
All right, so we pulled up the shot chart, and I'm sure you've seen it by now. So this was after the Kentucky game. So you shot 23 pointers against Kentucky. You shot 17 more against NC State. All right, can you walk us through? It's self-explanatory. The 5 around the layup. Maybe you got a back cut or something like that. Talk us through the corner jumper there. What were you doing? Did you lose track of where you were? That's a terrible shot.
So that's a great question. I'm gonna explain exactly what happened. So first off, that shot is a little mischarted. It should really be right on the line. And what happened? This was in our first conference tournament game. I came off a handoff in the corner, and I made it and one. But the ref called it a 2 on the floor, and I was out there arguing with him. I said, that was a 3. I don't shoot with my feet on the line. I don't practice hours every day to put my feet on the line when I'm shooting threes. And the ref was like, okay, but we can't review it right now. So they stuck me with a 2. But I'm telling you, I watched the film afterwards, and it was a 3. So you should have 7 2-point attempts on there, not 8.
So you tweeted out, right, March Madness 3-point contest. We were actually asking ourselves this between us. Would you be good at that? I mean, it's stand still next to a rack. I mean, we're watching you come off screens. You're sprinting. You're pulling up. Would that actually be something you would thrive in? Yeah.
So I was talking to my coach about that, and I was like, he was saying, if you would do something like that, you're going to need to practice picking the ball up off the rack because, I am definitely not the best spot shooter out there. You find guys who can stand in one spot and they make 95% of them. But my specialty is definitely off the move, coming off screens and freeing myself up with movement and things like that. At the level of shooter I am, I really don't get any looks of just catch and shoot. So I probably wouldn't be the best guy out there, but I would definitely love to compete at it.
Well, I can tell you this, when people watch it, everybody's going to be expecting a 30 for 30 performance. So, the next 2 weeks, I know you're going to be doing a lot of interviews and it's great to see the NIL, but look, man, you got to show out one more time because everybody's going to be tuned in to see that Jack Gohlke, the guy who hit 10 threes against Kentucky, can hit every single shot from a standstill spot.
No, I'm already in the lab and picking the balls up off the rack. I'll be ready to go by the time it comes.
We're talking to Jack Gohlke, Oakland, of course, falling just short in overtime against NC State in the second round, Sweet 16 this weekend. You're from Pewaukee, Wisconsin. I know you're a little bit older than, I'm going to forget it, I'm going to mispronounce his name, the Ohio State stretch 4, or Iowa State stretch 4. So was it Milanovic? Something like
Milan
Momcilovic. Have you watched much of his game? Do you know him much? I know he's 4 or 5 years younger than you, but when it comes to your rooting interest moving forward, are you going to be pulling for your fellow Pewaukee, Wisconsin native?
Yeah, definitely. I see him a lot in the summers and work out with him a little bit. So definitely pulling for Milan and Iowa State. He's a terrific player. And I mean, they have an amazing team. They really had a case for a 1 seed this year. And just based on how things shook out, he got stuck with the 2. But they were able to play in Omaha, which was obviously quite an advantage for them. So I'm definitely interested to see how they do against Illinois here. I'm not sure where they're playing. I'm not sure what region they're in, but that's going to be a great game.
Yeah, that will be a good game, and that's going to be taking place in Boston. That'll be the late night game on Thursday. You guys played Illinois way back when, November 10th. Yep. What do you recall from that game? Oddly enough, very low scoring, which is very uncharacteristic of Illinois, who, per KenPom right now, Jack, is the #1 offense in the country. So you've got your hometown guy in Iowa State, best defense in the country, and a team you faced in Illinois. What do you recall from that Illinois game back in November?
Yeah, I mean, they have a tremendous team. They got great size, and they do a great job in transition, and that's why that game was low scoring, is because we said, same as we talked before, we're going to slow the game down, play as few possessions as we can, and our zone defense really helps us to kind of disrupt those high major offenses because they don't see anything like that. And Illinois is just a tremendous offensive team because they have Terrence Shannon, who obviously can get downhill. He can hit the 3. Domask is a really well-rounded player, and they got those bigs. So I'm really interested to see if Iowa State tries to slow the game down because that's obviously their specialty on the defensive end. And I think if Iowa State can slow it down, then it's to their advantage. And if Terrence Shannon and company get out running in transition, it's going to be a tough one for Iowa State.
So, Jack, I'm just curious. We got our last minute with you here. I believe you're out of eligibility, right? So what's the next step for you? What are you going to do as you move forward?
Yeah, I'm looking to pursue my pro basketball career, whether that's here in America and NBA, G League, or whatever it may be, or over in Europe. Just want to keep playing the game and keep getting as much as I can out of it because it's been so good to me so far, and I've just enjoyed it.
All right, so we got Milan, we got the 3 Watts and you. I mean, is Pewaukee just beating every city across? You guys should get like a rotation going on across the country, some barnstorming there.
Oh, we definitely could. Pewaukee's producing athletes left and right. There's another player coming out this year that's going to Nebraska, and he's going to be a tremendous guard for them. So, yeah, they just keep pumping out players.
Well, appreciate the time, man. Enjoy the run. We enjoyed watching you. Best of luck moving forward, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me on. Love this show.
There he is. Jack Gohlke joining us on the Progressive guest line. Got to work on it. I want to make sure he wins that 3-point contest.